Eventually, Byler Malfoy on AO3. Episode 6. Chapter 6. Mike avoided Will for 6 days. He knew he wouldn't be able to look at Will without breaking before he was ready. Mike was terrified, especially after telling Max. So he stayed away. He didn't answer the walkie when Will called. He claimed he picked up an extra shift. He claimed he was sick for movie night. But he still stared at that painting every single second he could. But he was sure that Will could tell. He knew Mike was off. He could always tell when Mike was off. Will even stopped by his house, and Mike convinced his mother to tell Will he was out running errands. But on a better note, Max hasn't changed one bit. The day after what Mike was calling bathroom room gate, Max had gone to treat him like she usually would have, still shooting him insults, marking up the tally board, and making him sling the ice cream. It was nice, actually, that Max still looked at Mike the same way. He was scared that when he admitted it, that he was in love with Will, that people would begin to treat him differently. But Max didn't, and that normalcy had made him relax, feel comfortable. It was a rather dead day at Scoops Ahoy, the rain outdoors threatening kids' ability to come out for a movie or to get ice cream. Mike preferred these days, when he could just clean and talk instead of the hustle and bustle of the busier ones. Max had the scooper in her hand as she just washed it carefully. Soapy studs caught on her wrist. Next movie has to be Back to the Future. Why? Mike asked, wiping down the counters with a sanitizer cloth. Because that's the one Dustin suggested? Max shut off the extra water from the scooper, turning off the tap. She spoke in a way that often made Mike feel like he was stupid. Mike turned around, his back to the register, as he cleaned the other counters. Dustin's request is next week, remember? This week is Elle's. No, genius. Max huffed mockingly, drying the scooper now. Last week was Al's. We watched it at the Bylers because you called in sick. She said the last words, raising her hands and bending her fingers to form air quotes. He didn't realize they had movie night without him. The thought stung, but he did cancel quite last minute, trying to go through every excuse in the book to avoid Will. Are you sure Dustin chose Back to the Future then? Mike asked, conspiratorially, flashing her with a raised eyebrow. We watched that one last time he chose a movie. But Max didn't answer. She was too busy staring ahead right in front of her. Max? Mike questioned, waiting for her witty reply. But her witty reply never came. He wrapped his head around, meeting hazel eyes. His stomach dropped to his feet. Max tapped him on the shoulder, sliding the scooper into his hand without a word, and leaving to go into the back. She seemingly knew what to do better than he did. Without her familiarity, he was beginning to feel less grounded. Hey, Will said, looking sheepishly at him. He raised his hand and rubbed the back of his neck. I wondered if you were working today. Mike answered dumbly. His shoulders felt stiff, red lights blaring in his head. Yeah. Will sucked in a breath, leaning on the counter. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I found this apartment in New York. It's like right between our schools. It's perfect. Mike avoided Will's eyes, instead taking to looking at the register as if it was the most interesting thing he has ever seen. Yeah, that sounds good. Will pulled back from the counter slightly, and his swallow was audible. Mike, did I do something? You've been acting off. Okay, so this is it. It's happening now. At work. Mike felt sweat begin to prickle behind his neck. His shirt felt too tight, his limbs about to burst from it. He took a deep breath, glancing up at Will. "We need to talk," Mike said, his voice shaking. Will paled, his shoulders bunching. Okay. Okay, maybe he shouldn't have phrased it like that, but it was out in the open now. It had to happen. Mike was shaking all over. Mike turned around, away from him, avoiding his gaze once more as he turned to the back room. Will followed closely behind, trailing like a lost puppy. The bell of the employee door was the only sound to be heard between them and the tense silence that was slowly building. The freezer hummed louder than it usually did. Max was sitting at the table, blowing bubble gum again. When she saw them, the bubble gum popped in her mouth. Mike flashed her a desperate look, and Max nodded, taking the scooper from his hands and heading out to the front. When it was clear that she was gone, Will spoke. "If you changed your mind about New York, you could just tell me." That shocked Mike right out of his own thoughts. No, no, I didn't change my mind about New York. Did you did you think that I don't want to live with you? Will drew his eyebrows together in confusion. Well, yeah, I thought that's where this was going. No, Mike assured him again. They stood at a distance, a few feet apart. "I want to live with you, Will." Then, Will approached the topic carefully. "Why did you want to talk?" Mike sighed. Here goes nothing, he supposed. His body was strung tight. "The painting, the one from Leonora, from the van, was it really from Elle?" Will stilled completely. Something unnameable flashed through his eyes. A beat, then two. Yeah." Will's tone was off, unnatural, but the words came out measured, controlled. Of course it was. Mike knew Will was lying. Of course he was. But Mike wasn't going to let Will lie to him again. Not about this. He needed the truth. "Interesting." Mike prodded, tapping his hands against his work pants. He nodded his head, turning away from Will to look at the lockers next to him. "Because I talked to Elle, and she didn't even know that the painting was for me." Will went silent, but Mike couldn't see that Will was also tense all over. Will's eyes widened just a fraction, his breath catching. He wanted to step forward, smooth out the furrow in his brow, kiss it better. He was really in love with Will Byers. But this was more important right now. He inhaled sharply. "Will, come on, please." Will didn't let down, his voice still so measured, so in control. He avoided Mike's eyes, his jaw tightening. "Mike, don't make me say it." "Why didn't you just tell me?" Mike asked, exasperated and hurt. His voice was soft, low, like it always had been for Will. Will, and only Will. Will kept looking away, crossing his arms over his chest as if he were protecting himself. "You needed to hear it from her." Mike's flinched, his whole body reacting to Will's words. The words weren't cruel, but they were true. Mike did need to hear it from Elle at the time. If it came from Will in the van, he would have panicked. The silence sat between them, creating more of a distance between the pair than the physical feet they were apart. Mike broke it, his voice quiet and softer than it had ever been, when he said, "What if I didn't?" Will looked at him, and looked as if he considered Mike's words, letting them roll around in his head, how they tasted on his tongue. He didn't scoff, he didn't look angry, he just settled. "You weren't ready." If Mike had been just braver, if he had known, if he wasn't so goddamn scared, maybe he could have been ready. Maybe I would have tried to be. Mike grouted out, his voice pleading and desperate. And maybe he believed it, because he truly would do anything for Will. He would have tried the best he could, even if he was giving couldn't be enough. But a thought entered his head, flowing around like a whisper. Could it be enough now? Will shifted, seeming to now be looking at Mike with new eyes. He dropped his hands from around his chest. The lights went all out around them, the building humming until it clicked. Shit. Mike heard Max call out from the front. The power went out. I remember seeing that tag. Guys, do we think they're gonna cuddle like the military do for warmth? I'm sorry. I love this. 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 Oh my god. It's a love. I don't think you understand the deep love I have for this so far. Can you send me a link? Sorry. 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 That was weird. That was a weird laugh. I'm weird right now. Sorry. Sorry. They make me weird. Sorry. Sorry. Shit, sorry. I'm just gonna continue to say sorry. I love this. I love this so much. I don't... Papa, I want more movie. Papa, more movie. Papa! No, I can't say that yet. We still have 2 chapters. But afterwards, I am gonna say, I want more movie. Lilo Malfoy, I love this. I love this, love this, love this, love this. Is this... Oh, okay. As much as Mike is being like, oh yeah, I would have tried. Motherfucker, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You... Be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real. You weren't ready. You weren't ready for that. You know, maybe after that 1 year jump skip, like maybe. But at that moment, you weren't ready. And yeah, you kind of did need it from Elle. Hell, you probably would have appreciated it from Will, don't get me wrong. But I feel like your stupid ass head would have, like, it would have flown over your head. You would have thought it was platonic. Like, it would have flown right over your head. You would not have realized it. It would just fly right over the head. Because, just fly. But that's just in my opinion, right? Obviously, different opinions have different things. Like, he's a complex character with complex emotions, feelings, and stuff like that. And I can also see him actually trying and stuff. Do not get me wrong. I can't wait to see what the next is like. This next chapter, I hope they finally, like, actually either get together, have a talk, the power outage happen. I wonder if you just added that just for, like, the shits and giggles, or if it's actually gonna have, like, a plot relevance. Even if it's just shits and giggles, I love it. If it's for plot relevance, I love it as well. Either way, I just love that it's there. No beta, we die like Michael Wheeler's homosexuality. Heterosexuality. I love that one. Sorry, I'm looking at the tags right now. But I'm in love. I saw power outage. When I was like originally reading this, like gonna read it for my own time and like for my own like pleasure and stuff like that. Like, you know, side thing, you know, not late from work, but came home from work, kind of tired, wanted to read something. I saw the power outage. I'm like, oop. Yep, we're doing this. I go and I read the first chapter. I'm like, holy shit, I need to podfic this. Stop what I'm doing. I can't read any further. I have to ask. And you replied relatively fast. Thank you for that, by the way. And so I then picked it up. And I'm glad I did. I love this. We are reaching the end, though. We have 2 chapters left. The next fic is going to be a Bloody Mary fic. I did see that Lilo Malfoy has commented in my videos. They comment on a regular basis. And they said that they're like, oh, this is making me want to write more Byler. If you do write more Byler, I will happily consume it, and just like read and eat it. Just nom 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 nom. And even if you let me, like if you give me permissions and stuff, I would happily also podfic those as well. I love it so much. This might not be my most popular series because it's Byler, and for the most part, podfics, My Hero Academia tends to be a little more popular, considering it's a bigger fandom and stuff like that. Stranger Things, I don't think there's not a lot of podfics out there for them. Do not get me wrong. I love them. I searched. I think there's one for the power outage one, which I don't know if it's has perms to do it or not. I've asked for the power outage one, but I haven't gotten a response yet. So I'm not gonna tell you guys that I'm gonna do it. I don't know. You took my heart. I was sleeping. I would love to do that one. Do not get me wrong. It is just fun. Like, it is monumental. It is so good. I can't because I haven't gotten perms for it. I haven't got an answer. Therefore, it's a no for now. Right? So, sorry guys. I'm working on that. I'm working on getting other ones as well. I think I have some other ones. Out of all of them, though, this one was my favorite. The other ones I've read already. This one, as I said, I'm reading it with you guys right now, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I love the writing style. It hits everything I needed to hit for a fan fiction. It is just amazing. I love it so much. I'm shocked that it's not beta read. Alila Mafoy, if you need a beta reader. Hi. I love it. I love the internalized homophobia. Mwah, mwah. I just love everything about this fanfiction. I love it so much. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.